But yeah, so I think we're doing quite well here. Again, they've still got a lot of stuff around their spawn point, but we've held off the repeated attacks on us. More donators are flying about. That panics me a bit, because if I see another wave of ATGM infantry, I'd probably pull my hair out at this point, because we've been fighting ATGMs for so long. But luckily, I think those are just the ones that already dropped them earlier, flying about. Now their next assault seems to be coming with infantry and transports, as well as Centurion Mark IIs. Elsewhere, they have a lot of stuff. You see, I'm not sure why they were so reluctant to actually attack us, because there's the first one on their team gone. That's also another way to end a total destruction match, just make the enemy rage quit, because most people just can't, they can only play a game for so long and they get bored. Elsewhere, Strela 2 and Sabres, you see, at this point I'm sure to run out of genuine good supplies, because as you can see, I've got 4,000 points, closest guy to me has got 2,000, so it's sort of been a I've been fighting the most, but that also means at this stage I'm running out of good units to field, because all my units have been fighting, which means they've inevitably died. Elsewhere, their AA launchers are firing. I'm not sure what it is. I just remember what it is. Those anti-aircraft launchers are actually ATGM/AA units. That's what it was. Okay, so that actually fooled me. So you see that M113 ADAT? That's a Canadian prototype unit, which is ATGM and anti-aircraft missile firer at the same time. I think it comes exclusively to Canadian only decks, which is actually quite clever now that I think about it, because you see the anti-aircraft icon, so you sort of ignore it if you're in a tank, but they've got ATGM, so they'll do a lot of damage. Watch out for that, because I got completely rouged, I guess you could say by that. Elsewhere, Delta Force are attacking. On this side, it's actually quite a clever move, because they don't really have that many units in the area. I'm resulting to calling in Sabres to take out infantry. Elsewhere, their units are trying to push in, but as you can see, they still have a huge amount of units left. Not sure, why they left all this stuff to go to waste, but oh well, not complaining. See, as well, Jaggers are being cleared up. More artillery volleys are coming in. I'm trying to stun this stuff, because it looks like they're actually mobilizing their tank forces down towards Michael, and if I can stun them, I might be able to break up the attack force and handle it without being completely overwhelmed. Elsewhere, they're bringing in more ATGM units, but they're bringing them in way too close to the actual fight before they stop them to fire, which means the tanks can just fire off at them in their leisure. Another get run, another volley of AA fire, another person behind enemy lines. I was trying to make a clever movie reference, but completely failed. Elsewhere, again, I guess you can see, look at the map, there's a blue dot right around our FOBs and all our unprotected command units, which is a bit of a worry. And now their tanks are starting to roll down, so I think this is what they were thinking as their grand counter-attack, where they crush us once and for all. I mean, they're losing quite badly, 6,600 to 9,000. But then again, remember, I've lost pretty much every single good unit at my disposal. At this point, the only good units I have left really are all of my jets, and as you can see here, the aircom section has been phased out because they've destroyed all our CVs at our rear deployment units, which means we can no longer call in jets. I didn't realize it at this point. Let's see, elsewhere, tank forces are coming in. Jets seem to be making strafing movements on the command vehicles. Let's have a look. Yep, see, they've got a recon helicopter pointing straight at my command tank. That's the one command tank. So what I do is I bring in one of my AA helicopters to try and knock it out before they can make a move on it. As the other jets come into range, making a strafing run on the tank. I decided to just keep it there, because I think, it's gonna die, it's gonna die. It takes a few hits, but it's still alive, and I've now got my anti-aircraft helicopter. My plan is to take it out before they can knock out my CV, but yep, it didn't work out like that. Command vehicle lost. Now we've lost Ivan, which means that if we lose Michael, like if they manage to push forward enough to bring in their own command vehicle into Michael, we've pretty much lost all our reinforcement zones. Carton's also down, but you know that I did manage to get my helicopter over here, so now I can avenge the TV by knocking out the recon units. Also, they don't. I thought, while it's here, might as well knock out all their rear forces. You know, even if I can't destroy them, I can make them think twice before attacking. See, elsewhere 9,600. I'm still doing very well. I think I've got nearly the. No, I actually have greater than the combined force of the other two guys who are playing, and yeah, overall NATO's sort of balanced out quite well. I guess Agris has scored a lot of points, but he surrendered a long time ago, which makes me think he was just like me, like he was pushing forward and doing most of the fighting, but then his forces ran out of steam, like he couldn't call in any more reinforcements, but he used them all up, so he surrendered. Let's see, elsewhere, what else is going on? Not much really when you think about it. So as you can see, there's a pretty big flanking force up here on the hills, a huge amount of leopard tanks, and as you can see there's nothing up here. My artillery's been pummeled around by their artillery, and I don't have any tanks. All I have is really some empty A2GM units and a couple of AA units, which was a bit of a worry because they could probably steamroll that section quite easily. Elsewhere, my own AA helicopter was shot down, and they've captured all these FOBs. So what I do is, let's see, well, let's have a look actually at how the battle's going up here. Some more of their gets yourself down round. My allies actually made quite a good push into their command point, their rear deployment zone. He's got a lot of forces here. Unfortunately, they've got a lot of jets, helicopters, and other stuff, so this attack seems to be taking quite a few hits. Elsewhere, I have very few units left, so I decided that the CV is dead, so they're not going to be doing much, so I might as well go around and start smacking their CVs, because, this battle's going to have to end sooner or later. Might as well start taking out their ATKM units. Or not their ATKM units, their command units. Also might slow the relentless torrent that's been attacking us since the start of the game. Only 37 minutes in. So yeah, at this point I was thinking, well, I think the problem my units have is supplies, so I should really start running my logistics trains a bit more. So what I do is I buy a infantry unit to go and capture it. I don't think they actually have any units left in the area. My helicopter took them all out before it was killed, probably by a jet. So I think that if I can just move, my infantry there and recapture it, I can start getting supplies in. Let's see, elsewhere here, let's see, my allies are bringing Mi-26s and various other units. Conquerors, I see, I have one or two good units left around, but I'm playing very defensively because I think, if my friend's counterattack fails, then Michael is going to have to be defended. And, if I can, because they've already wasted a lot of their units so far, so if I can trick them into another counterattack and sponge up the rest of their units, we can go CV hunting without much problem. Here comes the command attack on the top of the hill. As you can see, I've got nothing there to stop it because I don't have any tanks or tank hunters left in my availability. Also, because we've been losing all these rear CV zones, our income has slowed quite heavily. Let's see, fortunately my allies T-55s, while they're being called in, are lending a few shots, however, stabilizers and all that. It's not going to do too well. Elsewhere, my guys are driving around a bit, and they managed to spot an enemy AVGP Grizzly command unit, which is quite a nice turn up for the books. Quick rocket into it, and they're 120 points worse off, and a command vehicle down, which is very helpful for us. See, elsewhere, I'm redeploying to my command vehicles because we had 2 in one point and then a bunch of others not captured. Elsewhere, more attacks being brought in. I think the counterattack has now at this point failed, and their rear deployment zone is pretty much theirs yet again. However, so I think my reluctance to attack might have helped here. See what else. Some cargo trucks are being brought in. You know, these are get empty supply trucks, so I think might as well capture them. Because if I can get the FOBs recaptured, these supply trucks can be a ferry of supplies, not just to me, but to my allies as well. I've lost 2 of my artillery guns to constant artillery fire or the tank assault. You know, take your pick. So what I'm going to do now is I've resecured the one to the left of Fedor. I think it's Carton. And basically what I'm going to do is secure that to get the points in, and then buy another CV because I still have a few CVs left in my reinforcements to call on. So if I can save up for them and then start expanding our zones again. Also remember, this is all down to who kills whose CVs first, so I need to call in as many CVs as I can to increase our chances of survival. Again, score seems to be pretty level, only about 1500 difference here. However, all their reinforcement zones are being brought in. I'm a bit worried by why their reinforcements are being brought in from this direction. Try and get the ATMs to fire, but they go behind the trees, causing them to miss. You know, if they're calling in reinforcements for the main battle, they shouldn't be coming from that direction, which makes me think that they're going to be trying more flanking forces. As you can see, my Sabri forces have now come in unopposed, so that we can recapture some FOBs. More assaults being brought in. Again, I don't really have anything left to stop these guys except for the 1 or 2 tanks I have left. They're continuing their assaults, but it doesn't look like it's going anywhere at the moment. All my Fagos have now run out of ammunition, so all they can do is sit back and watch. Give me some indication of what units are heading my way. Let's see. But at this point, it's pretty much going fairly well for us, I guess you could say. We're still my allies. Basically, he wasn't doing a lot of fighting, so he has all these T-55 swarms waiting in reserve, so he can now call in on them and break their lines, hopefully. See, elsewhere, I'm seeing how much command vehicle costs, so I can save up for it now. My plan is to secure Ivan, just because I want to only secure what I can secure without losing it too fast. So secure the points closest to my forces. So you see, I said, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Okay, so at this point, Vern is still in the game, even though he hasn't killed anything because he's an AFK player. But so basically, I was just pointing out that if Vern surrendered at this point, all the command points that he had since the start of the game that he's built up would become available to us. Also, we might, I know in Wargame European Escalation, when someone surrendered, you got more units to call in, but I'm not sure if that works like this in Airland battle. So regardless, all of my reinforcement routes have been recaptured, all my FOBs are secure. Well, actually very few of them were actually my FOBs, but they're mine now, because they didn't do a good job of defending there. So I'm getting all those empty trucks, all those empty supply helicopters, bringing them back. I actually think I accidentally called in some of my gunships as well, but then again, it's probably faster for them to fly there and fly back rather than waiting for forces. So another tank rush here. They've gone from ATGM rushes to tank rushes. Managed to get some Fagos resupplied, so that might help a bit, but as you can see here, I really don't have that many units left to call on, and because I'm saving up for my command vehicle, I really can't afford to help in this battle. I'm just going to have to trust my allies to do a good job. So there you go, I'm going to secure Ivan. Even though Gregory is a higher point zone, Ivan is a more secure point to take. So at this point, their tank rushes are going to go pretty heavy. I mean, we don't really have that much left to fight against them, but so they could take quite a bit of land here.